Huh? Uh-oh.
I'll tell the judge and prosecutor to suck my dick like I done before. Okay?
Huh? Uh-oh.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about the role models that are on YouTube, and they want to direct your kids to do the right thing. We're going to go over some things, and we're going to have a good time tonight. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. John, what's going on? Yas, how are you doing? I'm expecting a lot of people tonight. It's going to be a very interesting show. You guys are going to love this. So we got some, we're going to have some features from some of your favorite mob rats out there. And we're just going to kick it. Hope everyone's having a great night. Happy holidays. Full green light, how are you? Rah, what's going on? So here's a video of Gene.
Excuse me.
The Glizzy Gobbler. Hey, Gene. So, hey, if none of it's true, why you getting mad, right? But we're going to go over the truth about these guys. Anyway, let's get to the first video. Hit the like button.
It's a Johnny and Gene show. We're back for another episode. Our co-host, Felix Levine, is away in prison. He'll be out shortly. And
listen to Gene laugh. Now, he says, Jono, what's up? How are you? Laura, how are you? Listen to the way that Queen Jean laughs. And they're allegedly joking around that Levine, right? Their co-host is in prison. And Jerk Off Gene goes, oh, we rubbed off on him. Yeah, that's what you guys do. You have influence on other people out there that are doing the same dumb shit that you've done. So let's check it out. Listen close.
it's a Johnny and Gene show. We're back for another episode. Our co-host, Felix Levine, is away in prison. He'll be out shortly. And
we rubbed off on him, right?
Yeah, he changed our lives. He also changed the other way. He quit college and he's
running the streets now.
Now he'll be back in a couple of weeks. He's away at school. So if the people are interested in where Felix is, he will be back in a couple of weeks. So another week. So we're going to do a special episode today about the questions everybody sending us. There's so many questions we don't have the time to answer all of them, obviously, on the air. And
how about the real questions? Like, how about pin down some real definitive answers about some of the statements you make? Because a lot of the statements he makes are way off. A baseball batted that guy to death, but he survived. What the fuck? Okay.
Gene will kick it off and we'll try to answer some of your questions you're all asking us.
Okay.
Gene will kick it off if his lips don't get in the way.
So we're gonna start it off with I seen a good one here. Hold on. Okay, so this is from Michael Staffer. Johnny, what was your relationship with the Gotti family? Mike from Staten Island.
I looked at, growing up with your uncle, Fat Andy Ruggiano. I grew up with Lucky Luciano's cousin, who's also a made guy. These guys were the hierarchy of the Gambino family and the legendary gangsters from the Gambino family, with Murder Inc. and Albert Anastasia. Later, after his uncle went to prison, I started with the Gottis, and I looked at Gotti Sr. as like a father figure to me. I looked up to him, and I would die for him. And I think that I tried anything I could, risk my life for him. And then unfortunately things changed with Gotti Jr. going into as an informant.
So there, he tells pure, unadulterated lies. Let me break it down for you. So I got some information about Mr. Aletto. And the information is, remember I told you guys I was going to let you know whether it was good or bad. So I dug deep into Aletto's background. He did have contact with Gotti Sr. Gotti Sr. had him collect money from someone. And it was on tape. So he ain't lying that he had minimal contact with Gotti Sr. But I highly, highly doubt that he was giving him orders and the hits done on Castellano and talking about business with this guy. He was hanging around his son. I don't even think he talked about business like that with his son until a certain point. But this guy is pure full of shit. He collected a few dollars for Gotti Sr. one time, maybe twice. But I'm going to bring you the tape.
I tried anything I could, risk my life for him. And then unfortunately things changed with Gotti Jr. going into...
Going into where? He didn't go into the witness protection program. He didn't cooperate until after Aletto here did. So what the fuck is he talking about? Here we go again. The offer's there, John A. Light. Maybe we can wait till St. Patty's Day when you're Irish for you to come on here. I'll decorate it all green and you could come on here, pretend you're Irish for the day. He got all pissed off at me last St. Patty's Day because I sent him a thing. I put Johnny wants to be Irish today. He goes, "You're a fucking idiot." Hey man, I just calls him like I sees him.
As an informant when I was in Brazil on the run, and I left my family, and after that it's history. There was nothing left for me with the Gotti family once he went to talk to the FBI.
Junior didn't become an informant. He was not an informant. He never was. He was not. It wasn't like that. He did cooperate with the government, but it was either way you cut it, you know what it is. But he's not like these guys. He didn't tell on other people to get out of trouble. That's the difference. These guys have rap juice pumping through their veins.
Okay. Also, Mike from Staten Island has another one. I'm going to answer this. He said, Gene, what was your role in the mafia? My role in the mafia basically was I collected all the deadbeat money. I did all the dirty work. Anyone needed to be beat up, shot, if they needed to be killed, which, you know, they weren't ordering murders, but if they did, that was my department. I took care of all the violence.
He just said if they needed to be killed, I took care of that. But, you know, they weren't doing killing, so. But you have to put that in there, right? To make yourself sound like you're a killer? Get the fuck out of here. The only thing you're killing is sausages.
I collected all the deadbeat money. I did all the dirty work. Anyone needed to be beat up, shot, if they needed to be killed, which, you know, they weren't ordering murders, but if they did, that was my department. I took care of all the violence.
That was his department, but they were closed that day, so he didn't take any murders on. That department was closed that day, and he didn't take any murders on. You heard him.
If anything needed to be handled as far as, like I said, violence, that's what I did. For Vinny Asaro or Ronnie Gialonzo or any Bonanno guy that really needed me, I was there for in that way. So I was basically known as the enforcer, the muscle, the guy you didn't want to see, basically.
I know a lot of people calling your skinny punk ass out, and I don't think you want to see any of them. It's been, what, 2 years? Still nothing from crickets. Bunch of shit talking. That's all he does.
The prosecutor sucked my dick like I done before, okay?
That's what he does.
Uh-oh.
I'll tell the judge the prosecutor sucked my dick like I done before, okay?
That's all he does. Run his mouth.
Excuse me.
There he is, the glizzy gobbler. You missed, Gene. All right, let's get back to their bullshit.
And that was my role. Got another one. Okay.
And that was my role. And I say that I was a Bonanno enforcer. Why don't you tell people you were never getting made? Huh? That you were a do boy. Do this, do that. And shut up.
Okay. Okay, Johnny, do you guys experience any PTSD from your past experience? Jacob. From Jacob Kovaler.
So I've just done some recent podcasts with Brian Basho, who's a Marine vet. I did one with Steve just recently, the air, who's a Navy SEAL vet. And on the show we discussed PTSD. Yes, I was diagnosed with it. I think anybody that sees action the way I did, the way these guys did, especially those guys in the armed forces, I think we all...
He's comparing himself to someone in the armed forces. Do you believe this shit? How many people believe this guy?
Somewhat, to what extent and how to control it is some of the things that we all talk about, and that's why I got so much praise for the veterans of the forces.
Here's a good one. Gene, talk a little bit about your steroid use and as far as did that add to your aggression?
Yeah, let's talk about your steroid use and how you told on the person who sold you those steroids when the feds got your phone down in Florida, Gene. Let's talk about that. Good thing I got it all.
I was already chemically imbalanced.
You think? What do you guys think? Let's have a vote. How many people think Gino boy was chemically imbalanced?
Who are you? But I'm gonna fix it. I did this to the door. Who are you? But I'm gonna fix it. I pushed the door in. 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 I did this to the door. Yes, I pushed.
How many think? If you think he has a chemical imbalance, press 1 in the chat.
Paying for these women?
Yeah.
Paying for these women?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yes.
Not you, Gene. Not you. Come on, GQ Gene. Paying for those women? Wow.
They told me before I did steroids, you know, it's going to make you more crazier. I didn't listen. I started doing a lot of steroids. And
More crazier, huh? Is that word in the dictionary? Everyone thinks the one. Yeah, everyone thinks the one. A like PTSD from his bullshit stories that he believes. Like in his mind, he really been through this shit. Some of these people, they believe their own bullshit. No bullshit. They believe it. Like wholeheartedly. They would like put their arm on a Bible and swear to the bullshit.
Excuse me.
it made me a lot more aggressive, a lot more violent. I can give you a brief story. One time, I was at Dunkin' Donuts.
Hey, Ultra Testosterone, how you doing? Damn, Gene Barillo ran the jails, bro, and the Bloods worshipped him. Hey, you gotta give him credit, right? He was running the prison. Gene Barillo's so rich that he had a public defender attorney. Only rich people have public defender attorneys. You got that right, man. I can't afford one of those.
And I was all juiced up. And honestly, it's a messed up story. A kid was
A messed up story. You don't need to tell it. We'll just show it.
So I'm gonna fix it. I did this to the door. So I'm gonna fix it. I pushed the door in. 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 I did this to the door. Yes, I pushed the door in.
And his card is on file here.
Yours. So I'm gonna fix it. So I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it.
So if I get charged for this,
You're not being charged. You're not being charged. You're not being charged. You're not being charged.
I'm the one who's taking it. Word.
He's fixing you. Don't worry. He's fixing you. He'll take care of it.
walking past me. He kind of grazed my arm, like bumped into me. My brain got all twisted. I waited for him to come out of Dunkin' Donuts, and I blasted him in his face. I actually almost blinded him in his eye.
He's not telling you that he was a 68-year-old man.
For basically no reason, just for me being all steroided up, and you know, it gets you so
Get you hyped up.
and you know, it's a bad story. I almost blinded the kid in his eye just for him bumping into me and me being all bugged down, steroids and everything. I actually waited for him to come out, and I hurt him bad.
Oh, you hurt him bad, right? Is that the type of person that the mafia wants doing dirty work for them? That's the type of enforcer they want. So now just picture this, right? Put this visual in your head. Dom Cicali, he's running a crew, right? Dom Cicali. And then we have John A. Light and Gino underneath Dom Cicali. Them all taking orders with each other. And then a couple more flunkies in the mix too. Is that what the mafia has come to? Because if it is, then what the fuck? They had us all fooled. They had everyone fooled. I like thinking about that. I feel good that I was a former gang member and not anywhere near these fucking people. Like, honestly.
Yes, it did make me a lot more crazy and wild. Don't do it.
Okay. Don't do it, but I'll do it more. Just I'm telling you not to do it, but he's gonna do it.
Okay, what's one thing you guys appreciate more in life now that you did before from Sim?
Your reading skills. I appreciate that. That's one thing. What's one thing you guys appreciate for this Christmas season? Give me some stuff in the chat. What do you appreciate this year? I appreciate you keep fucking up, Gene, because you give me content for days. I really do. I appreciate that, man. Can they go to jail for telling these stories? I don't know. They probably should be in prison for telling these stories.
You want to answer that, or you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
I think once you lose your freedom, and anybody that's lost their freedom, and especially if you spend an extended time in jail, you start to appreciate everything. Food tastes better. Going to the beach, just walking with your girl and laying in a bed. you start really understanding when you lose freedom for extended periods of time, how much you take for granted life, and you only have one life. And as the years pass you, like it happened to me, you know, you go away young guy, you come back an older guy. You just really understand, and you try to teach the younger guys that it's just not worth the money or anything else all your life for a couple of bucks, that eventually you're going to be put down, whether killed or in prison. And that freedom in those years, you can't get it back.
Right. What he said is so true. And also, like, when you're doing time and you look out that window and you see the sky, the trees, you just think, yo. What's up, everybody? So, you know, I guess this has become a little online war, as you want to say. So the thing about me that I'm different than all the other ex-mob guys, and the reason why I get so many views and the reason why people are so drawn to me is because...
Tell us, Gene, what are you appreciative for this year and this Christmas season, Gene? Tell us, tell the chat. They all want to know.
Because I back up what I say. Okay, on top of that, I was running the streets really hard. Okay? You might be the boss of Philly, Joey Molino, but remember, you're the boss of 7 guys. New York guys don't respect that family. Never did. You work for New York, you're a branch off, okay? Like I said, the equivalent of you being a boss of Philly is like being a fucking soldier in the 5 families. You're nothing.
But you were never any of that. So what's your point?
You just have to ask New York permission to do anything. So what kind of organization is that? Okay, let's get into something else. You got shot in your ass and your friend got killed. You did nothing about it. You didn't even retaliate. What kind of fucking gangster are you? Jadakiss said it best. Since when it became cool to get shot and not shoot back?
Jadakiss said it best. Snitches belong in dishes. Now, what are you really thankful for, Gene? What are you thankful for this year, Gene? I really want to know, and the chat wants to know.
Prosecutor sucked my dick like I done before. Okay?
That's what you're thankful for, Gene? Let's hear it.
Be outside, you know, you miss the little things. I go into a shower without wearing boxer shorts and shower slippers, you know, just not waking up on a schedule, do this, being told what to do. It's so many things like that. The little things you will miss so much. A lot of guys that, you know, lifers that I was with, and a lot of lifers I would talk to say, man, I
don't worry, Gene, they'll be there and you'll be on your way back. You know, all them lifers will still be there and you'll be able to go visit them pretty soon. I'm sure you're on your way.
I just want to walk in the park, man. I just want to, you know, little things you would understand. That's why we try to tell you to stay out of jail, and this street shit is not worth it.
So if you want to stay out of prison, don't listen to these fucking guys.
Okay. Maybe you guys can cover the youth right now. Here we go. When you guys gonna have a sit? Okay. This is a funny one. Okay, John. When are you gonna have a sit down with John Jr.?
I gotta laugh. Well, I don't even like talking about this guy. He's not a gangster. His father was a gangster, and
well, he'll come with Navy SEALs, his security team.
And, you know, let's go to a real question.
Yeah.
With gangsters.
Let's go to a real question.
Us and asking us to do a show. So this is going to be our first week at answering everybody that asked us.
What's up with his lips, man? What's up with that?
Do shows from the guys that have contacts from prison, from the streets, our friends, fans, and I just want to introduce ourselves. I'm Johnny and Gene show, and I'm Johnny A-Light, and you're obviously
Morello.
So the guys that don't know us or don't know me and know Gene or the opposite.
You're losing your lips there, Gino. Fuck's going on, man? Fucking lips are running away from you, bro.
Okay. Oh, here's a good one. Johnny, do you feel that Joe Watts was one of the most feared associates?
You know, for the guys that I've talked about this over and over about Joe Watts or myself or other guys.
Yeah, he's been saying that for the last fucking, I don't know, how many ever years I've been on here. So what? That ain't ever gonna happen. All these dudes do is run their fucking mouths. That's all they do. Right here.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's my channel, Anthony. But thank you. Thanks for letting me know. That's my channel. I have a couple different channels. If you guys don't know, I have the Trump Crime Family. I have there's the Reform Podcast. I've got the Trump Crime Family, and there's another one. But they're all mine, man. Yeah, I probably should have let you guys know that, huh?
You know, forget about the word associate. You don't understand the intricacies of the mafia.
They don't understand the intricacies of the mafia. These are members. These guys are the real members. The other guys, you know, like Carlo Gambino and all them guys, they're not real members. These guys are the real guys. These are the guys. These are the inner workings of the mob.
He was looked upon as a boss, captain, and besides that, respected by anybody from the street. People, street cred comes from your ability of earning, your ability as a tough guy, how you carry yourself, how you dress, your swagger, and Joe's on the top of the chain of any gangster in the history of any mob world or any family. So anybody that doesn't know that about Joe, if you hear something different, then you didn't know the man. He's a slick guy.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I really do. Yeah. I got to be on top of shit like that. That is my channel. Matter of fact, I'm streaming on it right now. Make sure you guys go subscribe to the Trump Crime Family. I'm going to put exclusive content over there. I got a bunch of different channels. So I'm getting more content. I'm able to push more content out to a lot more people. I'll put a link in the description. So Sammy the Bull made a statement about Pitbull. The rapper Pitbull said he don't give a fuck about Pitbull and all this shit. Yeah, they're definitely members, all right. They don't like the word associate for some reason, because they are more than that. They're more than associates. They're the reason why the mob exists.
Okay, we have a question from Gustav. I would like to know about what the mafia is today.
Yo, if you want to know that, the answer to that, these are not the guys to ask. These are not the people to ask. All right, let me ask people who cooperated 10 years ago what the mafia is today. Make this make sense to me. It just doesn't.
Matthew, the mafia today is watered down. I mean, I'm not gonna, obviously things can still happen. All it takes is you're always an order away from dying or being beat up or something, but a lot of the higher ups are scared to, you know, call upon these orders. From what I'm hearing now, modern day.
Yeah, because Gene's not scared of nothing. Pitbull would slap Sammy around. You definitely have that right when you drop in the Iceman show. I'm working on some things right now, and I'm going to be dropping a lot of content, so it's coming. But I have Randy Couture next. Randy Couture, Christine Fiera. There's a bunch of them. Tell Gene Joey never took orders from New York. He never took orders from nobody. He told Scarfa, Stanfa, and Goofy Raph to get fucked. I believe it. What is up with English YouTuber Sean? He sold drugs in Arizona. Yes, he did. He's trying to He's trying to like put himself in the mix with Sammy Gravano. Like, who gives a shit about Sammy Gravano? Who cares? Dude's the biggest mob rat in history. And people like that guy. They give him money and all this shit. It's crazy. You hang with rats, you'll get fleas. Ask Michael Franchese. He knows all about ratting. Chatting with Staxx. Was Gene Barillo the only shooter the Mafia had in the 2000s? Yeah, he was. He was the only shooter. Sean Atwood, yeah. Staxx, is your opinion, do you think Ronnie G is going to take care of this Punk? I got no comment on that. I think somebody eventually will. I think he steps in shit that he has no idea what he's doing. He's done it multiple times since I've been on the internet. And he does it all to himself. So whatever happens to him, hey, it's going to happen to him on his own. I don't wish bad on anyone. I don't wish anyone to go to prison or anyone to get hurt. This is all for entertainment purposes only.
You're not allowed to order a murder no more. So
you're not allowed to order a murder no more. Is that right, Gene? Huh? Where'd you hear that from? Your uncle? Where'd you hear that from? Ruggiano? The other maid guy in the family? Get the fuck out of here. You know nothing about the Mafia. You were not a member. Neither were you, Johnny boy. Neither one of these guys are Italian. If you guys don't know that, Mr. Aletto here is Albanian, and Tonto is half American Indian. That's right, folks.
It's not the same as his era, you know. It's kind of like basically money now. Sports, loans, that's the bread and butter. That's what's really going on. They straighten out anybody. You know, they're making bookmakers, which bookmakers never got straightened out.
But they didn't straighten you out, Gene. And they never were gonna. Never. Why? You're a top shooter, right?
They're just, you know, it's not the same anymore. It's basically like a fraternity.
Well, if you're a knockaround guy and your boss is giving you an order, the problem is all the bosses are flipping. And I've went through the list of all the bosses.
Gene's crew was fucking Junkbox Hootie. That was Gene's crew. Him and Hootie running around trying to get drugs from people and do drugs. That was the extent of their fucking Mafia career. Hey, you back me up. Tell them I'm made. Tell them I'm a made guy. And I'll tell people you were in the crew. Do you know that this guy, that Hootie character, he used to tell me to tell people that he was a Gambino crew member. He said, don't write associates, Gambino crew member. I'm like, what the fuck?
Excuse me.
Glizzy gang, yo. Glizzy gang.
Flip. And guys like Gotti Jr. can't make excuses. You went in, you're an informant, you sat down with the feds. Joe Messina, he's wearing a wire from the banana.
He wasn't an informant. You were an informant. Genie Boy here was an informant. Rubio was an informant wearing a wire in his glasses.
Family, Al Diaco, boss of the Lucchese family, Ralph Natale, Philadelphia, Gas Pipe also with the Lucchese family, he went in. So these guys are going in, everybody's giving it up. So it's very hard to take an order from somebody these days because you don't know when are they going to flip on you. And it's coming from the bosses, it's not coming from below like before.
Right, here's one from Nick Cuzzy. Do you think if you had bosses like Carlo Gambino today, the Mafia today would be stronger?
Yeah, the guys that would have any type of dealings with you two. You got two Mafia wannabes talking about Carlo Gambino and what people want to know about Carlo Gambino, and they're asking these two.
What I think about bosses like Carlo Gambino, obviously, and Neil Della Croce, and guys like Roy DeMeo, and guys like modern day Johnny Koenig, these guys are serious. They're gangsters, real gangsters, and there's names out there like those guys, and we can list them. Those were real gangsters, old school kind of guys, but the law has changed. So with the law changing, it just doesn't exist. And what they do is they keep thinking that numbers will bring strength, and that's not the case.
Listen, if they thought numbers were going to bring strength, then you wouldn't be there, right? You guys are cooperators. All these people want to be like how big of gangsters they are now, right? After they cooperated. How come you weren't a gangster when it was time to be a gangster? And take your time like a man instead of talent. Like, why? Why not be a gangster when it's time to be a gangster? Because they're not gangsters. They're frauds. These guys ain't even a glorified crew. Absolutely not. How you doing, Raven? Shout out to Raven Hawk. Mickey Griggs, what's up, man? Latin Butterfly, how are you? Ultra Testosterone. Luke G. Or Luke 37, what's going on, man? Gene eats apples through a picket fence. Gene sucks apples through a straw. Don't take my word for it.
Excuse me.
Hope you guys are enjoying this content. I'm just trying to make you guys laugh tonight. And don't forget, we got the toy drive going. We got a couple more days. So if you want to donate, hit up the Cash App. It's Chatting with Staxx. We're going to get some toys for the kids at the shelter. We're going to do some things down there for the people. So if you guys want to help out, hit up the Cash App, or you can hit up Super Stickers, Super Chats, Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, all that good stuff. And I appreciate every single person that takes the time. Bruno, what's going on?
So when you're making 50 guys that don't deserve to get made, you should make 3 or 4 instead, and keep the old heritage of you got to be a serious gangster to be straightened out.
But you guys aren't gangsters. You guys aren't even members. How are they talking about the members when they're not members themselves and they never were? How is this possible? Like, can someone explain this to me? How are these guys talking about being members of something when they weren't members? That's like talking about how you played for the Eagles or something when you never played football in your life. It's just mind-blowing. Just like Johnny Boy here referring to his mafia career, just like being in the armed forces. You should get a medal for all the shit you did, Mr. Baseball Bat Boy.
This life.
Right, and I also want to say, because I know this, I grew up around it. Being straightened out back in the day was very hard. It wasn't like it is today, where it's like, oh, go do something. Yeah, you're a guy now.
Yeah, but Gene, you went and did stuff. And you weren't a guy. You weren't ever gonna be a guy. So how hard is it to get straightened out, Gene? Didn't you tie people up and shoot people and stab people and do all this shit, collect money from deadbeats and all this? But you didn't get straightened out, so why not, Gene?
Back then, it was such an honor, a privilege to even be thought of. I mean, you had to do so much just to even get, proposed or, anything. They only open the books every 3-4 years. Sometimes they close the books. It was a totally different ball game back then.
Yeah, you were born in the wrong era. Too bad you weren't born back in the day. They would have took care of your ass a long time ago.
And it's going back to my cousin's era and my Uncle Andy. It was just an honor and privilege. Where nowadays it's nothing. It
is something. It's something you never obtained. Man, that's a fact. I mean, you want to dispute it? Come up here and dispute it all you want. You never obtained it. You never were going to be made, Gene. You were never going to be made, Johnny boy. Unless there was like a miracle happened. That was never going to happen. Not for either one of you flunkies.
Guys out that have no business.
Oh, yeah, and your cousin, Ruggiero, he was not a made guy. He wasn't in the mafia. He wasn't about that life. He was a wannabe, too. And don't worry, his turn is coming.
Even in the life that never did anything in their lives, just, pay. So, in the Don Carlo era, if you were around that era and you were in the mafia, you were a gangster. That's what it was.
Yeah, you didn't get to become a capo regime because you're spoiled, and it just doesn't happen.
And
like Dom Sicali? Dom Sicali can't even read one page from Cat in the Hat. And this guy was a mob captain? The fuck out of here. I don't believe you. I don't care what anyone says. He was not a mob captain. He was not.
by the way, nobody says that from the 90s on. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Let's see. Kelly Campolo. Okay. Gene, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Hopefully in Boca.
I'll tell you where he sees himself in 5 years. Right here. Department of Corrections in Florida. That's where he ended up.
Tone, living on the water. I don't know. I can't answer that, but I take it day by day. Hopefully, my dream is to own a beautiful home and
sausage factory. Don't forget that, Gene.
Just have a family and live a regular life. I'm hoping for it. I'm trying. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Man, I enjoy life right now, so it doesn't matter to me where I am in 5 years as long as I'm healthy, my kids are healthy, and that's all I care about these days.
Yeah, all right, so I have to get to this question. I mean, I have to. Do you guys have plans to have Mike Francis on the show?
Me personally, I'd love to have him sit across from me and tell me what he feels is a gangster.
I can tell you what's not a gangster. Both of you guys. No. You ain't adding up.
It's the qualifications, the understanding of the street, how it works. What do you believe is a real gangster? And
Reality Report, what's going on, man? Shout out to Craig Gatto on the Reality Report. I'm going to drop the link. Anyone wants to jump up here.
I'd really like to have him here because I want to hear him talk to me face to face with some of the side comments. And, listen, nobody knows the street better than me. I was raised in it since I'm a kid.
No one knows the street better than you, huh? Is that why you cooperated, John? Is that why? Because you know the streets better than anybody? How come you weren't a gangster when it was time to cooperate? How come you didn't stand on business then, huh? Because you're not a gangster.
He's on the show.
Me personally, just curious how he would like to speak in front of a guy like me, really, and see.
I'd say it to your face. What's going on? How are you? Femi.
With the way he speaks and carries himself then.
Right, and also, we want to explain to people. We're not trying to get views off him. We don't need him to get views.
Yeah, you do. You need your lies to get views.
We have our own thing going. We're blowing up like you can't imagine. My whole thing is this. I know a street guy. I could see one from a mile away.
I can see one from a mile away, and I don't see any right now. None. I'm not a street guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm not up here pretending to be one. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not any of that shit, and I don't claim to be. But these guys, 100% are not. You just got to know what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm a determined individual. I like to get work done. I like to progress. I like to better myself every day. These guys, they like to flaunt around and try to prove to people how much of a gangster they are. They ain't gangsters.
He's a privileged gangster. That's what he was. If he was just come out and say that and just, you know, tell him what he really was. He never held a gun. He never did no violent crimes. He wasn't he never sat on nobody. He never did stick-ups. He never did things that you had to do. Not being thugs. That's what you had to do in the capo regime era.
Gene, I did all that shit. And I wasn't a gangster, Gene. I did all that shit that you just said. And I wasn't a gangster. So what the fuck are you talking about? All that shit you just named doesn't make you a man, Gene. You know what makes you a man? Bettering yourself, not going to prison, doing the right thing, not threatening people every 5 seconds. That's what makes you a man. And I don't see any.
You know, you had to put work in. Because his father was Sonny Francis, he didn't have to do that. That was my whole point. You know, like if my Uncle Andy was alive when I was in the life, of course.
You'd be dead if your Uncle Andy was alive. And you weren't in the life. Let's stop that nonsense, all right?
I'd be a privileged gangster too, but he wasn't. He died in 99. I didn't start my mob career to 2003, 2004. I had to prove it. I had to do it myself. I had to show them that I was capable. So that's my whole thing with him. It's not like we're attacking him or trying to get street cred or whatever he calls it off him, because we don't need that. Well, between me and him, we got a combine of 80 shootings. So I don't think we need anything from you.
Wow, tough guys, huh? Combined, they got 80 shootings. Real tough guys. Don't fuck with them. Everyone back away. Everyone back away. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Excuse me.
Catch it this time, Gene. Catch it. Nah, he missed. Hey, I thought you guys would like that.
So all I'm trying to explain about that is we would love to have him on, because I would love to have a real conversation with him. He's actually a pretty intelligent guy and everything. He was a money maker, not what he says, but you know, we would love to have him on and just sit with him and clear the air. I would love that.
Yeah, I don't got any personal dislike for him, actually. I mean, I just think that.
Shout out to Matthew for the memes.
Listen, you're going to get a respect level if you're an athlete and you jump in the ring and you're a boxer. You know, another fighter is going to respect you for being a fighter. But if you're the commentator talking about a boxer, obviously the boxer's not going to have the same respect for you. So is
exactly, man. Exactly. So how do you expect people to have respect for you when you come up here and you're talking about all this gangster shit, when you guys are clearly aren't on no path to help no kids? At the beginning of this video, they said, oh, Felix, he's in jail. He followed us. Because that's where you'll end up if you follow these guys. Prison.
I mean, Gotti Sr., you know, when you're talking about Gotti, he was a gangster. So Gotti himself despised these kind of guys because he felt they didn't belong on the street. They were just rich kids that didn't know what it was to come from the streets and the poverty that we came from. So I understand that belief. I just don't like the backdoor talking. I like to talk straight, and
right.
He's just not a street guy. I mean, that's it. Maybe articulate, like I always say, and comes from a money family, but that's about it.
Right, he's a businessman.
Listen, anybody's capable of hurting other people, right? Everyone in this chat is capable of killing someone, stabbing someone, going on a rampage. Everyone's capable of that. But does that make you a man? Does that make you a gangster? Not really. I don't think so. My personal opinion, no. There's plenty of people out there to do dumb shit like that. It takes an idiot to do dumb shit. We got two of them right here. Check it out.
He's he's those money guys. They just pay their way.
Well, you want to talk about gangsters, and for people
Right.
that understand, you got to get praised, and we're not trying to praise this life, but the guys that were in it, that were tough guys, were legitimate gangsters. I've said it over and over again. Joe Waltz and Angelo Ruggiero, and Roy DeMeo, and Neil Delacroce, and Gas Pipe when he was out on the street. I mean,
Wait, his last video, right? Johnny Boy's last video, he said that Roy DeMeo was not a gangster. I swear, I have the video. He said Roy DeMeo is not a gangster.
these guys are serious gangsters. This guy can't sit in that kind of company. This is a guy that you send out and tell him, "Hey, go run my company for me and bring me envelopes." So that's what he's capable of, and that's what we respect as being gangsters.
Right, and I'm not trying to glorify what I've done in my life. I'm just saying what I used to do. I was robbing guys like him, cap-ins like that with no balls that really got all kinds of money. Those are my victims. Anyone knows me on a bull crap. I was robbing skippers, wise guys, everything, guys just like him. That's all I'm saying. He would have been one of my targets back.
And I just had an incident recently at a club. I had a couple of drinks. I was by myself. I was in an industrial area. And you have guys that are Albanian trying to help. But they're weak guys. Yeah. I mean, a guy took a shot at me, went to he hit me, he punched me on the blind side. First of all, the kid can't even hit. I mean, he should be able to knock me out. And, he didn't move.
Hey, maybe they'll give you a round 2 after they hear this.
Me. And, the next thing is somebody said to me, well, why didn't I go outside and finish fighting? And they showed up with 8 or 10 guys, whatever. Yeah. So I said, I didn't have my Superman cape on that day. So I took a dive into the water, and, I said I had my Aquaman suit on. So I made a joke of, I came in the club, I'm going to walk out the club.
Right.
He's going to walk out the club, jump right into the water. He didn't give a fuck.
You caught me off guard a little bit because I don't really drink and get sloppy. I was drinking. I was alone. Guys know I walk around and do whatever I feel like doing.
That's gangster. That's fucking gangster right there. He took a dip in the drink. Gangster shit, man.
Anymore, I'm a good person now. I'm just saying my old self.
What was that? Good person.
You, so I'm gonna fix it. I did this to the door. You, so I'm gonna fix it. I pushed the door in.
Oh, wait, that's the old you, though, right? Oh, that's before you went to jail. Wait, this is after you went to jail.
So fucking midget mafia, Joey Molino got something to say about me. Joey, you're 4'2". I see you in Tampa, I'll slap you around. Okay, you're the boss of 3 guys, the Philadelphia Mafia. If you actually be a member in your family, I'd rather be a Latin king. Okay? Get lost. You're an active mob boss on YouTube. You're a fucking clown turd.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
You're a dirty hoe. That's what you are. Look, tell everybody how you fucked 100 guys. Tell everybody that on YouTube. Tell everybody that. Tell everybody you fucked your neighbor. Matter of fact, let me go talk to Andrew. I know we have, I can't really get in touch with you, so the bullshit we going through is fucking stupid as fighting. You want to play games? I'm stabbing every single one of them. Let me cop you. Go. Watch.
I didn't do that to you, Gene. You did that to you. That's gangster shit, man.
Reformed now. But my old self, he would be tied up once a week, robbed, and I would tell him it's me. Coming every time.
Okay, you're going to tell him it's you. I'm going to tell him it's me, and I'll be here every week. This guy's smart. These guys are fucking smart.
This is a question from Pierce Rovine. Are you guys getting 6ix9ine on Tekashi?
Hey, Pierce, I feel like I know you because you write me all the time. We talk constantly. Yeah. Actually, I was in the studio at Bravo Studios, and I tried.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about constructive criticism, Glitch, to tell you the truth. I do my own thing, man. I'm not here to please anybody. Just here to entertain you guys. That's it. But besides that, if you have any, you can surely spit it out.
To speak to him, try to get him to come in. His people said when I was on the set, he would come over, knock on the door, and I went back and he was on the set. So I've been trying to reach out to him, and I want to see if he'll come on. Who knows? You know, we'd like to get him on. It'd be interesting to see what he says after we had Snow Billy on. So
Yeah, he's 6'9", Tekashi 6'9" on the show. You believe that shit? A-Light demands respect, and that's his problem. That's A-Light's problem. You can't demand respect from people. They're not going to give it to you. Just the 9 mix fucked up my eyes. Oh, yeah. Oh, with the background, you mean? Yeah, trust me, I have a bunch of things that will fuck people's heads up, like swirly lights and all that shit. I'm like, let me not do that to the people when you do your memes. Yeah, some people said that, man. I try to tone it down a little bit. Some people, it'll make them have a seizure. Were these guys actually made? No, they weren't. Not at all. They weren't even close to being made.
curious myself to see what he had to say, and I just recently told Fat Man Scoop the same thing. You know, we talked about it, and you know, it'd be a good show.
So Michael Francis did make a lot of money with the gas scheme for the Persicos. Michael Francis made a deal with the Persicos, and that's what he's talking about. You don't know about what I had going on with the top brass. That's what he said in his last video. Matter of fact, I have the last video. Let me see if I could get it for you. I know I got it, or I know I have it. Let me see. Yep, here we go. Check
interview Ori Spado came on my show.
Yes.
And said some harsh words about you.
I sort of feel sorry for Michael. I gotta be
I never heard of him until I
for Michael.
Shout out to Ori Spado. Great guy. He was around real gangsters. He doesn't act like these guys do. He knows the deal.
And I'll tell you why. He's living a life that's not his own life. He should wake up, face who he really is. I mean, he proclaims to be a born-again Christian, correct?
Right.
Ask Gene. I ain't asking him nothing, man. Carlo Gambino was scared of A-Light. Yeah, I believe that.
Well, then that means he reads the Bible.
Right.
Now, look, I don't go to church. I was born a Catholic. I'll die a Catholic. I go to church when there's nobody there. Once every couple of months, maybe. So,
Gene was going to stop money from going to the Persicos. Haha, yeah, right. 100% he wasn't. Go check out Ori Spado's book. It's called The Accidental Gangster. It's pretty good.
I actually, I never really watched his interviews, but I watched his latest one he did on the show. And I like the kid now. I really do now. He's actually a right kid. He was explaining everything and saying why he did what he did and what.
Listen, there's no good reason to cooperate. None. No good reason. I don't give a shit what they got going on. I don't care if they kill your family. If you're involved with that life, you ride it to the door. And I don't give a shit what they say. All they're doing is making up excuses. All of them do it. Every single one that cooperate makes up excuses on why they did it. But the real reason why they did it is to get their own ass out of trouble. And they're running around trying to be the same people. But now, after they cooperate, they want to take the toughness of the people that they cooperated against. It's mind-blowing. But it's right here. You guys are watching it firsthand.
And they were abusing this kid. You know, so I'm dying to have this kid on and really talk with him. He's actually not what everyone says is. He ain't really an asshole like everyone says. He actually, when he had the interview, was trying to explain his side of the story.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you something, and you know, I don't know him either. When he came in, he waved, said hello. I said hello by wave, but I was actually filming. But Snow Billy did say, and Judah said, these guys did say he's not a bad kid.
Nah,
and
he don't seem like
so
a
I
bad
don't
kid.
know, you know, and Snow's not, you know, running up on him like that, talking down about him. He just said he felt bad for him. He got involved in a life he shouldn't have. So I'm just curious what he says too. I'm not going to prejudge him. You know, he's a young guy, so let's, you know, give him a second chance at life. And guys hate him, don't hate him. That's not our place to step in that part of, you know, part of the business. It didn't involve our organization. So
You weren't in an organization. John, you weren't in an organization, man. You were not in the Gambino family. Gene, you were not in the Bonanno family at all. They didn't want you. They wanted nothing to do with you. That's why they had you going out there doing dumb shit. They probably like, maybe he'll get caught this time. We could just be done with this fucking guy. Nope. Guess what happens? He gets caught. And he tells on everybody. Surprise, surprise. They should have took care of him another way. What's going on, Mike? How you doing? Thanks for joining me tonight.
I don't know enough about it to know exactly what happened, so I'm not going to judge anybody on that.
You don't know enough about the organization you claim to be a part of, so you shouldn't even be talking about it, A-Light.
This is a question from Emery. How are you so brave, never afraid to speak your mind, and never back down?
You,
Both of us, so, yeah.
Go ahead, give him a shot first.
Honestly, you know.
Honestly, I'm going to tell you why.
Excuse me.
Because all he does is talk shit. Stupidity, man. Straight up stupidity. That's why. That's why they run their mouth the way they do.
There's a lot of people say, oh, he's boosting, he's bragging. I never cared. I mean, I always had a big set on me. I didn't care. I was always capable and willing. And I feel like just because I went bad doesn't make me the same person. I mean, I'm not saying I'm violent. I don't look for it. I used to look for it. I don't look for it.
Is he joking? Like he's playing a game right now, right? He just
what I used to do. I was robbing guys like him. Cap-ins like down from anyone. I never will. And saying I'm violent. I don't look for it. I used to look for it. I don't look for it no more. But the bad guys know who was the bad guy. And if you're gonna, you know, come at me and, you know, do these things to me, I'm not gonna just let you abuse me, obviously. But I don't live that life no more. But that's just the way I am. That's who I am. I don't back down from anyone. I never will. And that's just the way I am. There's nothing I could say. You know, that's my personality. I've always been like that. Very outspoken. I don't hold my tongue for nobody. You know, I got in trouble for that a lot, but in the mafia world, I said things that people I wasn't supposed to. But I'm saying, you know, that's just the way I was, and I'll continue to.
He doesn't hold his tongue for anyone, folks.
Excuse me.
He's gonna get it this time. No, he missed. Maybe next time, Gino. Maybe next time.
Bye.
You know, it's funny, whoever wrote that, because maybe you're the guy that, you know, me and Gene were just out in Brooklyn last week, and about 6 people stopped us. One at a red light and was taking a picture, and they were surprised to see us both. We just came from the beach, we had our shirts off, and then another guy stopped us on the street. We were walking in Brooklyn, and we were in Staten Island.
Fucking lying ass motherfucker. This guy took a video in Manhattan talking about, I'm in my neighborhood. This is my neighborhood. No, it's not. You don't go to your old neighborhood. I went over to your old neighborhood and I spoke to some people, Johnny boy. Oh, yeah. The Haven, Woodhaven, Queens. Oh, yeah. We got some good stuff on the way, John.
We got stopped a lot recently, and they asked us, and I said, listen, you know, I'm not on that time anymore. I'm not trying to shoot people. I'm not trying to kill people. I'm trying to send a message that...
He's not trying to shoot people. He's not trying to kill people. He's just trying to send a message.
You're the boss of Philly, right? Where's the respect and the fear? You're a joke.
That's what these guys are about. They're talking about they changed their life. This is yesterday.
Fucking joke, okay? You hid behind your name like all these other fucking fake assholes.
Hid behind his name. What? Doesn't even make sense.
Leave it with. You're a clown. You're a joke. You're on YouTube. You're talking bad about people. Blah, blah, blah. You're a fucking joke, okay? All right? I'm gonna embarrass the shit out of you. I'm different than these other guys. I don't come on here trying to be a politician, a mayor now. Oh yeah, I'm a rat. So what? I'm gonna start talking like I'm running for Congress. I'm a successful businessman. I'm an ex-street thug, hands-on dude, bro. Go ask about me. You can hear these fake stories all you want. When you run into me, see who's running.
Yeah, we'll see. Guarantee you it ain't gonna be Joey Merlino or Little Snuff.
Paying for these women?
Yeah.
Paying for these women?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Where are they from again?
You're crazy.
It's fucking see-through. It's like skin. It's just like thicker. It's fucking see-through. It's like skin. It's just like
Oh my god!
Where? Where?
Where are you? But I'm gonna fix it. I did this to the door. Where are you? But I'm gonna fix it. I pushed the door in. 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 I did this to the door. Yes.
Wow. Rehabilitated at its finest.
This life wasn't a right life. I might have did all those things before, but you know, I'm who I am. I'm used to being stabbed up. I'm used to being battered. I'm used to jails. I'm used to all that stuff. But you know, my message is to save kids' lives, especially from the inner cities where I grew up. And I want them to know there's a different direction they can go in. So for me to advocate that, I got to show that I'm real. By being real, I'm way out in the open. And I'm in all the neighborhoods, and I think those guys that just ran into me in the last week with Gene and pictures and see us on beaches, and we're just going to live our life the way we used to, and
See us on
you know, we're not looking for
beaches.
nothing. But you know, on the other hand, you know, we're no different than who we used to be. That if somebody tried that, I guess you know, we can revert back to who we used to be, and that's not the message to the kids. The kids are.
Can you, Johnny boy? You're gonna revert back to who you used to be and start killing people? Big bad killer Johnny, huh? Oh, let me guess. Georgie Grasso, right? Georgie Grasso. I killed him and then I dug him up and killed him again.
You know, stay away from this life and enjoy your life.
And this is from my buddy. I talk to him all the time. He's from Canada. Derek. He's a jeweler guy. He's gonna come and he wants to. I think you spoke to him as well. Yeah. He wants to meet us. He's a real cool guy, and I get along with him. How strong or influential are the mob today compared to its prime in the 70s to the mid 90s? That'd be you.
Yeah, because you guys weren't involved. Please explain. You guys were not members. So we want to know the inner workings of a membership club that you were not a part of. So you, Johnny boy, go. You're up.
Prime in the 70s and the 90s, if a guy got a little bit out of line, they knew they were going to get killed or hurt real bad. I mean, we'd walk in. Those are, you know, it's my era where I'd walk in. I think enough people that I had on shows that know me talked about me. You know, Gotti, the father, asked me.
The father, he asked me to go collect money one time in my whole entire life. Everybody wants to be a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit. That's right. How come when they were facing all this time in prison, they didn't stand on their gangster shit? That's all I want to know. How come when it was time for you two to be gangsters, You couldn't do it. Oh, let me guess. You have an excuse, right? Let me hear your bullshit excuse. The excuse you should have is you were not a part of it. And you're not gangsters. You guys are fools.
Me to walk in, didn't matter where he asked me. If he asked me to walk into Merrill Lynch in the middle of the hallway, I would have did whatever he asked me to do.
Right.
So, you know, I would shoot guys like that, stab guys like that, bat them like that, and guys knew that. And it was not just me. There was guys like Anthony Arellano who hit a union boss in the
Okay. Listen, that's what they do. They try to get the other rats in cahoots with them to vouch for their credibility. It wasn't like they're saying.
There was a carpenter that got hit outside of Bankers and Brokers, an old hit by Gotti, called that order. And actually, the grandson speaks to me still. And
Gotti called that order, but I wasn't around. But I'm going to take credit for that. You know, Georgie Grasso.
so, you know, it's a different era. And guys that didn't fall in line. And actually, the carpenter was a tough guy. He didn't want to cave. And I got.
No, he didn't want to come to a meeting with Gotti. And you didn't kill him, Johnny boy. Why don't you tell the truth?
I give him a lot of credit. He stood up, and his name is O'Connor, and he stood up. And, you know, guys back then, if you stood up, either you're going to get killed or you're going to get hurt. But it's a different era now, so that's not what goes on.
Another one, this is more for me. What was the most dangerous, violent crew in the modern day era? So,
Not his. Hold on. Here's his answer. Here's Jeannie's answer.
Excuse me.
There's his answer.
right before me at the end, they all got locked up in 2008, 2009, and I'm gonna have to say was the Colombo crew was Big Dino's crew. They were the most dangerous as far as my era. I mean, I think they had a total of, I think, like 10 murders. They were killing everybody, so...
They were killing everybody. Georgie Grasso and Georgie Grasso and Georgie Grasso. The most dangerous crew at Bath Avenue. I believe they were part. You're banned from Cash App. I have another payment way. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different ways to donate. You can donate through Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chats. All of the links are in the description of this video. Or you could go to the About section. Yeah, there's PayPal, Venmo.
Not to glorify that, but that's that crew as far as my generation, which involved Big D.
I'll sub 5 for the homeless guy. Homeless. Well, that hell yeah, man. Listen, every single dollar counts. I don't care if it's $1. Really appreciate it. I donated to Staxx. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyone that wants to donate, we got a toy drive going. We got a couple more days left. You can hit up the Cash App. It's Chatting with Staxx. Or you can hit up Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chats. There's a whole bunch of different ones. Y'all get them for you. Put them in the chat. If you guys want to help me out, it's appreciated. We're just trying to... And I have a big announcement. I'll tell you right now. This is a huge one. We need 25 more people to get 8,000 subscribers. And I want to thank every single person that made that possible. The next stop is 9,000, then 10,000. And then we're going for 100,000. And we're just going to keep going and going. And none of these people are going to stop me. Sure, they would like to try, but it ain't gonna happen. We're gonna be on what's it, Rumble, Patreon. I got a whole bunch of things planned. The Rumble channel is already together. It's already out if you guys want to go subscribe to that. Thank you for the membership. I appreciate you gifting the membership. Calamandria. I used to have lunch with serious old timers in Chicago. He'd eat guys like Gene for lunch right in front of everyone. Yeah, these guys have they don't know what that life is really about. They were not around the right people. They were not, if anything, they made a mistake by having these guys around. Like the first 5 minutes listening to them talk, it's like almost unbearable to sit and listen to this shit.
Little Dino, Joey Caves, who I'm good friends with, and Tommy Shots. That crew was all taken off at about 2008-9. They were the most violent, dangerous crew. I know guys would tell me that if Big Dino sent for them and it wasn't in a public place, they wouldn't even go. So, I mean, that was one of the most violent crews as far as I knew, as far as people getting killed and everything all the time, and that was Big Dino's crew.
In my era, I gotta say it was the opposite crew of me that you guys hear me give a lot of credit to, and respect to street guys like Cookie and Fabi and Frankie and Anthony Tabita and these guys. Although they were against me, these guys were dangerous, very capable. They were out there doing a ton of work, and the difference between them and me was I didn't have as many shooters as they did. These guys came with me but I was doing most of the shooting for my crew. These guys were all capable of shooting and killing, and they were all...
Gene didn't do 1/10 of what Merlino did. He didn't do shit. You know what Gino boy did?
Excuse me.
That's what Gene did. This is the type of shit Gino did.
Warn you, so I'm gonna fix it. I did this to the door. Warn you, so I'm gonna fix it. I pushed the door in. 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 I did this to the door. Yes, I pushed the door in.
And his card is on file here.
Yours.
Can't get your own credit card, Gene? Come on. Thought you're a baller, man. What the fuck happened?
The work. So I would say definitely those guys, and really I like them all. So
Yeah, but they probably don't like you. I love how these rats throw out all these stand-up guys' names, and the guys that they're talking about, they probably hear them talking their names like, what the fuck? Why would they say my name on there? I'm dropping the link in the chat if anyone wants to come up here and join me. I got a few minutes left. So if you want to come up here and just shoot the shit for a couple minutes, hit the link, come on, and we'll just chop it up.
people say to me, well, how can you like your enemy? I said, they're not my enemy anymore, but I'm realistic. These guys were fun to hang out with. They were gentlemen. They were, there was always in the action and partying around, and they were loyal to each other. So, yeah, I give my credit to those guys for sure.
Okay, we got two more. This is from Andy Stone. If you had a free $10,000 to invest in any stock market, what would you do?
It would probably have to be Zoom. Zoom is starting to really blow. I think it went up like 400% or something, and I'd probably dump it there.
Look at Gene over there getting all uncomfortable. He's all fucking having an ADD moment, ADHD moment. Drank too much Red Bull. He's fucking squirming in his chair. He's like, if I had 10,000, I'd go buy cocaine and try to flip it.
And that would probably be the choice.
My brothers, I have two older brothers, and they preach it, and they're probably going to be right. XRP. It's a big thing right now. He has me invested, like my whole family's invested in it. So if it does hit like it's supposed to, we will be filthy rich. But yeah, it would be XRP. And,
but you're not. But you're not. So it must not have hit there, Gene. Huh? I'm guessing it didn't hit since you have a public pretender.
The last one. Where was it? Okay. Who is the most powerful on the street today? This is from Phil from Philadelphia. Who is the most powerful on the street today?
Why would they ask
I know
him
for
this
my
question?
time, it's Barney from the Genovese family. You know, that's always the name that I heard when in my era. You know.
That's a rough question because guys are.
My era. Your era is you have so many. I don't even Carmine the Snake, Gotti. I don't even know. I mean,
in my era, it's definitely.
The new era would be Barney or like
Yeah, that's it. Throw the guys, the stand-up guys, right under the bus. You fucking stunod. 100%, man. These guys are answering questions that they have no right to even talk about. Cooperators have no right to talk about legitimate guys. I think once they cooperate, they should sign a paper saying they are not allowed on the internet.
I don't even know. Barney, I mean, that's a real gangster. That's running a real family.
In my area, it had to be Vic Musso and the gas pipe. And there's nobody more dangerous. Those two guys.
Right.
Shout out to Vic Musso, the real stand-up guys out there. Vic Musso's a great guy, and hopefully he'll get out on a compassionate release. Got denied on the first attempt, but hey, it ain't over till it's over.
An intelligent Vic was a very smart guy. You know, Gaspar was a little wild and nuttier, but Vic was very intelligent. I happen to like his son-in-law, Joey.
Mickey Carrazzo, he's a real powerhouse nowadays. You know what I mean? That era, he was just coming up like, you know.
Nicky Carrazzo wouldn't have a fucking thing to do with your ass, Gene.
Captain, but my era, he's like God.
I mean, listen, you know, you need the intelligence along with the, you know, so I think I had to pick an all-around guy over the years.
Yeah, it is. It is illegal. It's called the Son of Sam law. And they made that law because of Sammy the Bull profiting off of his book. And he's still profiting.
I'm hooked. I will do it again. And I will do it again until I go to prison for the rest of my life.
He said it there himself.
I know Vic got life, but I'd say Vic was one of the most because he was a quiet guy. He stood in Hell Beach. He wasn't boisterous, and people didn't realize the power he wielded and how intelligent. And he had, and like I said, I just like the way he carried himself. So Vic is a name that I haven't brought up much, but he's a true gangster.
Right, and that's all. We will do this again. I'll let you know when you can send us the questions, and we'll answer them again. And that's it. Thank you for sending us the questions.
Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
A beef is happening right now in the mafia social world, I would say, between you and Sammy Gravano. But before that, Sammy had a lot of respect for you, to be honest. So, and also he called you the perfect gangster. Let's hear it out, what he said.
In contact with my friend Eli, was in the Gambino family. Very powerful member of the Gambino family. He's my Albanian mafioso soulmate. Okay. I think the world of him. I mean, he's a legitimate tough guy. I think he was put under the wrong people at the time when he was in the Gambino family.
All right, so what you're hearing here is Sammy the lion-ass Gravano sticking up for John A. Light. Why? Why is he sticking up for John A. Light? Because John A. Light gave him a few $1,000s to vouch for him. He thought giving him this money would boost his credibility if Sammy the Rat vouched for him. And he was right about that. It probably would have boosted his credibility. But it fucked him bad. Because what it did, it showed that John A. Light is willing to pay people to vouch for him. What does that mean? That means you aren't who you say you are. We're going to show the world.
At least he was part of my group. But that didn't happen.
We heard that he testified against John Gotti Jr. And what was your first thought?
Nothing. He was betrayed by John Gotti Jr. And I mean, he went on the lam. He got in trouble in Brazil. He went to prison. He was betrayed, and that's what happens. An action causes a.
Yeah, I just want to know, have you heard that Johnny maybe assassinated somebody back in time?
That he assassinated people?
That maybe he killed somebody back in time, Johnny Lights?
That's that way. Absolutely, yeah. He was a hentai.
Okay.
He was a professional hentai. And Eli couldn't get made because he wasn't Italian on his father's end, but he was, to us, he was an Albanian mafioso.
Okay.
With total respect.
No, totally understand. Do you remember a little bit what was his activities back in time?
Whose activities?
Johnny Lights?
He said whose activity? He said whose activities? Who's that? Who are you talking about? Oh yeah, that's right. Johnny, the guy that gave him the money that vouched for him. Oh yeah, that's right. John A. Light. And then let's hear what happens, because his opinion changed rather fast about Mr. Johnny A. Leto. And I want to thank Matthew. Thank you for the Cash App. I really appreciate it. Gary, thank you. This money is really going to help some kids. And I want to thank Latin Butterfly. Thank you for the Zelle. I really appreciate you guys. You have no idea. We got the new member in the house. Remember the memberships. I'm going to be dropping a lot of really good content. I rocks with you, Staxx. You're all good in my eyes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Did A-Liar at least sleep over like Calamandria did? No, he didn't get to. No deal. Thanks for explaining, little Staxx. I appreciate that. A new circus. Hey, these guys, it's pretty entertaining, though. You got to give them that.
Excuse me.
I swear I laugh every time I fucking hear that shit. It's too funny. Like, really. Anyway, let's get back to the story.
Well, I think they used him more or less to be a strong arm. He was the muscle to John Gotti Jr.
We are back. Now, John, what do you think made Sammy change opinion about you?
Because
all right, listen close. Listen close what he says about his boyfriend, Sammy.
I'm not like most guys. I'm not weak. So when he says something that I don't like or I don't agree with, I'm going to say it. Mm-hmm. So I'll say it again. Now, he's a cunt. He's a fucking coward. He's another big mouth that didn't do much. Now, people are going to say, well, he was an underboss, buddy. So I'm going to tell you, you can ask people or research, what did this man do to get to the level of being a made man? So people think because they're a made man that they did something spectacular to get there. He didn't do any kind of...
Johnny. You need a fucking serious history lesson in the mob and its members. I understand because you weren't a member. You were never going to be a member. So I get it. You don't know shit. So maybe we can have a history lesson for you and you could learn how it goes. But you were never a part of the club. You or your little flunky tutor on the side over there. Or there's Dominic Sicali too, the fake capo. He was not a real captain. I don't even think he was really made. But we're going to find out the truth about that scumbag. And there's a lot more content to come. If you guys like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And there's a lot more on the way. And if you don't like this content, too fucking bad. Start your own podcast. I appreciate every single person that watches this show. And if you want to help me out with the toy drive, just hit up the Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chats. We're trying to do some good things this Christmas. And I'm going to be volunteering on Christmas Day. So hope you guys all have a great night. Happy holidays and enjoy your loved ones. See you soon. And remember, don't be a bitch.
Excuse